Low standards make you ugly because it will literally make people perceive you as less attractive. It also means that you have a very large case of the cool girl syndrome, which will get you nowhere. That's why it's time to integrate dark femininity into your world, taking you from being the way too nice, gets walked all over girl to the if you don't meet my standards, I'll walk away girl. Dark feminine energy is the contrast to our light feminine energy, and if you want to be fully in your divine essence as a woman, you must activate both. The formula goes like this: soft and feminine on the outside, firm and secure on the inside. This beautiful duality will transform your life. Dark feminine energy is all the rage on TikTok. Some people live and swear by it, some people have it misunderstood, and some people have no idea what it is or how to use it to their benefit. That's why in this video, I'm gonna break it all down. And quickly, if you want to have a say in the videos that I make for you, go follow me on Instagram. Dark feminine energy is the yin energy that contrasts the lighter yang energy. It is connected to the darker, more shadow aspects of your womanhood, and it's a very important aspect to help anchor you in your standards and boundaries and never deviate from them, which we're going to get into. This energy is all about sensuality, passion, and emotion, and it's a really potent energy that helps us as women reclaim our power, acknowledging our magic and magnetism. However, how you're embodying this really potent energy can determine its effect on your life. There can be two types of embodiment. The first one is an overexpression of it. When you are overexpressed, you lack emotional control and you are hypersexual. Your love life is very dysfunctional. There's a lot of jealousy that goes on, a lot of addiction, a lot of attachment issues. Your sexual energy is almost all consuming, and there's a lot of greed and hunger in this overexpression of your dark feminine energy. And the second embodiment is an underexpression. And when you're underexpressing your dark feminine energy, you are just the way too nice girl. You lack standards and boundaries. You let people walk all over you. You have the inability to say no. You're just a very nice girl, which is just code for you're a people pleaser. When you can admit that, then we can talk. Because you're lying to me right now. You're lying to yourself if you say, I'm just such a nice person. I'm just so sweet. I have to say yes to everybody. No, you're a people pleaser. When you don't have dark feminine energy integrated into your embodiment, into your divine feminine energy, you will find yourself unknowingly being attracted to men who have zero feminine energy in their integration. Men need a dot of feminine energy to balance them out, and women need a dot of masculine energy to balance us out. When we have zero masculine energy as women, we are in our wounded underexpression of our embodiment. And for men, when they have zero feminine energy, you just see them being dicks, they're overly egoic, and these are the type of men that end up being narcissists and are just very abusive, and this is where the combination of extremely toxic relationships is birthed. The cool girl syndrome is basically the nice girl that comes with an underexpression of her dark feminine energy. You move through life with this sense of auditioning energy where you're trying to audition for a role in somebody's life, and you fear that if you assert a boundary or a standard to this person, then you are going to fail the audition and you will miss out on being in this person's life. You're giving supporting character, and we're stopping it. This supporting role energy is causing you to act perfect, to be the nice girl, say yes to everything, do as you are told, give what you are being asked of. You don't want to step on anybody's toes. And in the short term, men are into that, sure. People like that. But as they start getting to know you, they will start noticing that you are presenting yourself as perfect, but nobody's perfect. And we all know this deep down. So when we see somebody who's perfect, we start to get irritated by this person because we know it's inauthentic. We start picking up on this nice girl energy that is just fake. It's not really nice girl energy. You just have a deep wound that you need to heal. So you have to stop lying to yourself and lying to everybody that you're just a super nice person when you're not. You actually have standards. You have boundaries. You want to express them. You have wants. You have needs. That's all valid. You should have all those things. So let's run through some symptoms to identify and diagnose you with cool girl syndrome. So the first sign is you never really ask questions about commitment or anything long term. Now, you might be doing this out of hesitation, or you've just never consciously thought about asking these questions. That is coming from a subconscious motivation that you have due to a subconscious wound. That's an entirely different story. story, an entirely different video. Do you feel a motivation to ask questions about commitment, or do you consciously fear asking these questions because you don't want to be perceived as needy or clingy, and you're just trying to show him that you're not like every other girl, pressing him for answers? The second one is you tend to end up in situationships where you are eating those breadcrumbs up and surviving on those breadcrumbs. You are fine with accepting the bare minimum. You don't care about getting anything else. Maybe you do, but you're fine because you're eating crumbs, honey. And as long as I'm getting that full commitment, ooh, I want it, but I'm not gonna say anything. So the third one is something that I witnessed all throughout high school and university with all my friends in relationships. You say things are fine. I'm not bothered by that. No, everything's fine. But then you go and you complain to your friends about the same things that you just said you are fine with to him. The fourth one is that you tend to struggle with setting boundaries. You are afraid of asserting boundaries because you might upset the other person, and that's not good because then you might fail the audition because the audition is necessary and you need to get this role. And number 5 kind of goes off the third point, which is you just don't want to seem like things bother you. Nothing bothers you. Everything is fine. It's okay. You can cheat on her. Come back to me. It's all good. And you genuinely, in your core, are okay with these things. You don't see an issue with them. They might hurt you or upset you, but the failing of the audition hurts more, so you literally sweep these things under the rug and you are okay with them. You don't want to be uptight or complaining or needy. You just want to be the most appeasing version, the most appeasing person, so that this person never leaves you. But the truth is, and here's the kicker, these people will always leave people like that. People like you, maybe. My best friend in university was like this. She had a huge case of the cool girl syndrome, and that's ultimately what led to the demise of our friendship. I took advantage of her because I was unhealed, so I had a lot of dark feminine energy, and she was so underexpressed that we were drawn to each other. And ultimately that bothered me because I don't want to be taking advantage of you. And as I started healing and growing, I was like, you're letting me take advantage of you. Like, you need to have better standards for yourself. Underexpressed, lack of boundaries and standards. Overexpressed, chaotic, dysfunctional, jealous, greedy, toxic. But balanced, hypnotizing. And that is exactly where I want you to be. Conscious and appropriately timed distribution of your dark feminine energy is truly where your power lies. Dark feminine energy brings out the seduction and captivating side of you. It is the substance and the depth that you are able to bring that is so truly mesmerizing to people. The emotion, the rawness, and the fantasy. Like I said, firm and secure on the inside, soft and feminine on the outside. And you become firm and secure on the inside by cultivating and sticking to your standards and your boundaries. So when you create this list of standards, this list of boundaries, you must stick to them. Do not repeat yourself. Do not over-explain yourself. Say it with a neutral tone. Do not add so much emphasis or backtracking in your tone or in your deliverance of said standard and boundary, because it just waters it down completely. You have to show people that you will not stick around for certain behavior, and learn to let people go. Do not fight the natural order of things by causing resistance in your life by choosing to grasp onto people who are disrespecting you. A woman in her dark feminine energy would never ever do that. Now, a caveat to this is I never ever impose a standard or a boundary with somebody that I cannot meet myself. If I have a standard of this attractiveness, which is a very superficial standard, which is just an example for you, but if I impose this standard on somebody, I want a man who is well groomed, I want a man who is in shape, who is fit, and all these things that have to do with his outside appearance, I can't be coming at him looking like a bum. I gotta take care of my appearance. I gotta make sure I'm putting myself in the gym, not because I'm trying to attract this specific man, but because if that is my standard, I have to be able to uphold that standard myself. It is not fair to impose a standard on somebody that you yourself cannot meet. And the magic of actually imposing a standard on yourself that you are also imposing for other people, it will feel 10 times more natural and easier to impose this standard on other people because you are doing it for yourself. When I had no love for myself, no confidence, no self-esteem, do you think the people that I allowed into my life thought of themselves in a high regard? No. Because if I don't have that standard for myself, I was letting other people talk to me any which way they wanted. I was letting people in my life that talk to themselves any which way they wanted. I was actually drawn to those people because misery loves company. So when you impose a standard on yourself that you are meeting yourself, you will naturally be able to hold a bar higher for other people. So let's take that example further. That's superficial. We need to go past that. If your high value man wish list is loyal, great communication, direct communication, honest, respectable, masculine energy, you have to have direct communication. You have to be just as loyal. You have to be just as honest and have integrity. You have to be tapped into your femininity. You cannot expect somebody to be everything for you and you are just acting like some sort of a hobo. You can't do that. It's not going to work because ultimately the frequency of those two people do not match. One, you will never be able to attract this type of person. And two, that's just some low value entitled behavior that is not accepted over here. Loud standards are the ones that have zero follow through, yelling, screaming, cheating, hurting the person back, but you will still stay with that person. And silent standards have all the follow through. Don't really say much. You disrespect a boundary. You cross the standards. I won't yell at you. I won't hurt you back. I won't try to get revenge because I'm above that. My frequency is above that. So I will just simply walk away. Law number 9 of the 48 laws of power state, win through your actions, never through argument. Winning an argument, fighting for your point, defending your stance in this argument gives you momentary satisfaction. But winning through your actions gives you lasting power. When you can truly walk away from somebody without yelling at them, without saying anything, that holds so much more weight and has lasting power over time because you actually followed through with the words that were coming out of your mouth. Rather than spitting all of this energy to this person that maybe won you the argument in the moment but has zero actual impact on their life, zero change came from this argument because you just took them back, they just went about their old ways, and now you're gonna have the same argument probably in a month from now. Actions are directly related to competence. They also create a lot of value in you as a person. If you are able to value yourself by sticking to a boundary and a standard, you have created immense value in yourself, and this person will also feel that. This is all personal power. When you say you have a boundary or a standard, but then in the face of a situation that has directly crossed said boundary or standard, you don't really do anything about it. You're like, oh God, now that it's coming to the point of actually like taking action on this, I'm feeling a little bit scared. What if I don't find anybody like this ever again? Oh my God, I love him. He's just so good to me. He's so hot. Look at him. That is the weakest shit that I have ever heard. Every single friend that I have ever had has pulled some shit like that. And that is why they're no longer friends, because that is some weak shit. Do not ever make somebody's value in your eyes bigger, stronger, and more powerful than the value you see in yourself. The second large component of dark feminine energy is something I like to call confidence conversion. This completely changed my life. This is your new mindset. Take it from Tyrion from Game of Thrones. He says that you almost have to take your weaknesses, take your insecurities, and wear them like armor. That way, it can never ever be used against you or weaponized against you because you are owning up to your insecurities and your own shame or guilt or whatever you feel flawed by. You are taking that and saying, yes, this is what makes me flawed, but these are also the things that make me who I am. These are the things that add to my depth and my rawness, and I'm wearing them with confidence. Stop giving a shit about the parts of you that make you so uncomfortable and instead use them as your defining confidence points. By making those parts your defining characteristics. All up until university, I have always gotten bullied for the size of my eyes. I have always gotten bullied for the color of my skin. I took that and I started wearing it as my armor. If you can do this, if you can master confidence conversion, you can really be invincible. Take all of your pain, your shame, your guilt, your trauma, and transform it into your personal power. Dark feminine energy is all about this. All of the things that you bury inside of you, your shadow self. This is why it's called dark feminine energy. It's the shadow aspects of yourself, of your womanhood. Take all of those things and say, I am in control of them now, so they do not control me. You can't use these things to control me. These shadow aspects are part of your unique edge. This is what's going to make you so magnetic and captivating. So many people are trying to figure out, how do I become magnetic? You have to take the deepest shadow aspects of yourself that you don't like, that you try to bury away, and use that as your unique edge. This is what makes people drawn to you, because people are drawn to authenticity. Your unique story, your trauma, Your shadow self is a gold mine of stuff that makes you unique, which automatically, by virtue, elevates your sexiness when worn with confidence, obviously. If you want to take your dark feminine energy activation serious, then go to the top link in my description box and get my course, Get Him Hooked. If you're not only ready to tap into your dark feminine energy, but become the full package, watch this video next.